praise him. Hallelujah.
All my spirit. Hallelujah. All right, y'all. This is Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 4. Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah our Elohim, Yahuwah is one. Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael.
Yahuwah Eloheinu.
Yahuwah Eloheinu.
Yahuwah Echad.
Yahuwah Echad.
This is Exodus or Shemot, chapter 20, beginning at verse 3. We will have no other mighty ones
We will have no other mighty ones
against the Most High.
against the Most High.
We will not make any carved image
We will not make any carved image
or any likeness
or any likeness
of that which is in Shamayim above,
of that which is shining above,
or which is in the earth beneath,
or which is in the earth beneath,
or which is in the waters under the earth.
or which is in the waters under the earth.
We will not bow down to them,
We will not bow down to them,
nor serve them.
nor serve
For
them.
Yahuwah
For Yahuwah
is a jealous
is
El,
a jealous El,
visiting the wickedness
visiting the
of
wickedness
the fathers on the
of
children,
the fathers of
to
children,
the third and fourth
to
generation
the third and fourth generation
of those that hate him,
of those that hate him,
but showing kindness
but showing
to
kindness
thousands of
to
those
thousands of
who
those
love him
who love
and
him
keep his commandments.
and keep his commandments.
We will not bring the name
We
of
will not bring the name
Yahuwah
of Yahuwah to
for
nothing.
Yahuwah
For
will
Yahuwah
not leave us
will
unpunished,
not leave us unpunished.
who brings his name to nothing.
Who brings his name to nothing.
We will remember the Shabbat
We
day
will remember the Shabbat
to
day
keep it Kodesh.
to keep it Kodesh.
6 days we will labor
6 days we will
and
labor
do all our work,
and do all of our work.
but the seventh day
But the seventh day
is the Shabbat
is the
of
Shabbat
Yahuwah.
of Yahuwah.
For in 6 days
For in 6 days
Yahuwah made Shamayim
Yahuwah made Shamayim
and the earth
and the earth
and the sea
and the sea
and all that is in them,
and all that is in them.
and rested the seventh day.
And rested the seventh day.
Therefore Yahuwah Barak the Shabbat day.
Therefore Yahuwah Barak the Shabbat day.
We will respect our fathers
We will respect our fathers
and our mothers,
and our
so
mothers,
that our days are long
so that days alone
upon the earth.
upon the earth.
We will not murder.
We will not murder.
We will not commit
We
adultery.
will not commit adultery.
We will not steal.
We will not steal.
We will not bear false
We
witness
will not bear false witness
against our neighbor.
against our
We
neighbors.
will not covet
We will not covet
anything
anything
that is our
that
neighbor.
is our neighbors.
Abba Yahuwah, we come before you today, Father. First and foremost, acknowledging your presence in our lives, Father. Acknowledging your magnificence, your omnipresence, Father. Acknowledging your love, acknowledging your majesty, Father.
Yes, Father. Hallelujah.
The fact that we are here is a testimony of your mercy, Father.
Hallelujah.
Father, we thank you. We thank you for allowing us to have breath in our lungs, Father. We thank you for allowing us to be able to hear, to be able to taste, smell, all of our senses, Father. Some people didn't wake up with those senses. We thank you, Father, for allowing us to cross those bridges that we felt like were holding us up, Father. We thank you for allowing us the opportunity to pass over from death unto life, Father. We also ask, Father, that you forgive us of our sins, our transgressions, and our iniquities, Father. We ask, Father, that you give us the mind, the wherewithal, the know-how, the strength to forgive those that have trespassed against us.
Yes, Father.
Father, you know the needs that we have, Father.
Hallelujah.
You know the wants that we desire, Father.
Hallelujah.
Those things that we
Hallelujah.
haven't spoken or uttered in prayer, Father, we ask that your Ruach make intercession for us,
Yes,
Father.
yes.
In order for your kingdom to come properly, Father, that we be fine-tuned and suited to be in your kingdom, Father.
Hallelujah.
All these things we pray and we give thanks. Hashem, Yahuwah, Barakah, Yeshua, HaMashiach, Ruach HaKodesh, so be it.
So be it.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Shabbat Shalom. Again. This is the new Shabbat. We started Shabbat some time ago, but we're going to start it again right now. Man. right, y'all. Y'all ready to get into some praise and worship? Y'all ready to get into some praise and worship?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sacrificing your praise?
Absolutely.
You ready? Come on, y'all. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Y'all gotta know, man. He said, extol his name.
Yes.
Lift up his name. If you can't get into that, you don't belong nowhere near him.
Yes.
Number 2, deserve.
Give me the paper. Chuck, give me the paper. Give me the paper.
You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it.
You deserve it.
Hallelujah.
All right. Sing that song. Man, we ain't heard from you since you came down, John. Come on, sing it. Yeah. My hallelujah belongs to you. Why does it belong to him?
Hallelujah. Hey, let me ask you something. When you a baby, right after you crawl, what you start doing? You walking. After you a baby, when you crawling, you start walking. Right? And unless you get into sports, you don't really be running unless you running from somebody you playing tag. So we gotta be walking in victory with the Most High. Because we ain't nothing but just babes. Right? Gotta buy this for you. Y'all
He's been with us. You know, sometimes we take it for granted. It's time for us to realize that we don't have that much time on this place. Well, where we are right now, right? So we got to really praise Him to the best of our ability. We got to keep on walking. We got to keep on talking. We got to keep on studying. And when it gets on about studying, we're going to have to keep on studying. Because if we don't study, we don't learn, and we won't be prepared for the Most High. We won't be prepared for the Most High when He comes back. So we got to walk in what?
Victory.
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 Say what? What?
Victory.
We got to walk in what? Victory. We got to walk in what? Say what? What? We got to walk in what? We got to walk in what? Victory. Say what? 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 We got to walk in what? In victory. We got to walk in what?
Victory.
In victory.
Victory.
We got to walk in what?
Victory.
In victory.
Hallelujah. How many of y'all actually mean that? You walking in victory. You better mean that when you say it. Every word. You got to give an account for every word. Please, we need a pastor's napkin for Brother Bodie. Please send up a pastor's napkin for Brother Bodie.
I'll just take a napkin. Sherman will do.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
We got our brother.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
From California.
Don't you do it.
He missed last week and I had to step up in his place, but he is back.
All right.
Super trash.
Regular trash. What's going on, family? Shabbat shalom. 1 second.
Yo, we got a new sheriff in town. Somebody, one of our ops hit me up, so we're gonna try something different. We're gonna ask that we have all of our children turn off their devices.
Hallelujah.
I second, third, and fourth that.
Get mad at me later. All right? Everybody, have your children turn their devices off so they can focus on this. You know, the spirit of slumber get a lot of adults, so it's all right. No social media. No fitness statuses.
Hey. Deep. That brother said 2 strikes and you sitting outside now.
goodness.
Turn this mic down so it's the first one.
I'm back in the storefront church.
About to get hot. Check. We good? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me pretty good? That should be good. Quiet. Test your mic.
Yo, check 1 2 1 2 1 2.
We good. All right, y'all. How we doing today? Increased. Wonderful. Beautiful. All right. What year is this?
They tell us 2020.
What they tell us?
2020.
2020.
I don't too much believe it.
You don't too much believe it. I feel you. So they say it's 2020. Right? Do y'all know where the concept of 2020 came from? Vision, right? 2020 vision. 2020 vision. Y'all know where that originated from? Like we said, the Mayans. About to look at something real quick. One more. All right. Trying to find this article on the journal. One second.
Erman Schnellen.
Yeah. All right. Read that out.
Now the term 2020 evolved from visual acuity to general excellence.
So it says visual acuity, right? What is that?
Sharpness.
Right? How well you can see, right? So I want y'all to keep that in mind. Remember, the place that we in right now, this society that we in right now, and knowing the Most High, we know nothing happens by what? Chance. Right? 2020 is my year. How many of y'all said that? Nah, none of y'all here. Last year and the year before, people say every year. But 2020? All right, go ahead.
The idiom 2020 vision was never meant to imply excellent or even above average eyesight.
They said it was what?
The idiom 2020 vision was never meant to imply excellent or even above average eyesight.
So it was never meant to mean good vision, excellent eyesight. How many of y'all knew that? Right? When they say you got 2020 vision, you thinking, I can see perfectly, right? I got 2020 vision, right? Go ahead.
The semantic leap seems to have come through jive talk.
Through what?
Jive talk.
Who do jive talk come from?
Us.
Look what y'all done did.
Talking job. Airplane.
Go ahead.
Or jazz musician slang.
Sip it up, sis.
Go ahead.
Catch you on the rebound, backside.
Welcome the 2020 year of the common era. While this year is no more special than any other, it does mark the end of the 2010s and start a new decade. And reflecting on the page, the past 10 years, one idiom may be particularly apt. Hindsight is 2020.
Hindsight is 2020. What does that mean? I done heard it before. Hindsight is 2020.
You can see perfectly in the back.
So now it's saying, looking back on it, I can see what?
Clearly.
Clearer. Right? I can see clearly.
Let's go.
I ain't gonna let y'all hear all that. Right? But it said that, now remember, 2020 vision was never meant to mean perfect vision, but it's turned into that, right? So this idiom, 2020 vision, have got us believe in excellency or perfect, right?
Yeah.
Clear vision. Read.
Year 2020 does not refer to the calendar year. However, it is Schelling's fraction, a measure of normal visual acuity of a person.
So it's supposed to be actual normal vision. This means normal, right? Not the best vision, not the worst vision, but normal. Read.
That is, the sharpness or clarity of one sight derived from the chart developed by Dutch ophthalmologist Herman Snellen in 1862. A typical Snellen-Clark chart consists of 11 rows of letters, formerly known as optotypes, starting with one big letter at the top, with each line decreasing in size and increasing in the number of letters per row.
So y'all seen this before, right? Everybody, I'm sure, that witnessed or viewed one of these charts, right? As a kid, as an adult, you gotta get your driver's license, the whole nine. Make you put your hand on your eye and see how far your vision go down that chart, right? So it was meant for you to be 20 feet away from this chart, right? And if you had normal vision, you'll be able to see certain letters from 20 feet away, 2020, right? Right? Read.
The smallest row that can be read accurately at a distance of 20 feet or 6 meters in context outside the United States indicates that the visual acuity in a specific eye, the row comprising the large letters E at the top of the chart, is labeled 20, 200, or 660, meaning that an average person would be able to see it clearly at a distance of 200 feet or 60 meters. The eighth row is the 2020 or the 6-6 line. Ooh.
The what line?
The 6-6 line.
So the average person, this whole thing is meant for the eighth row. The average person should be able to see that eighth row from 20 feet back. Now, if we got one row all the way down to 8, we know that the letters get smaller down at the 8, but you should be able to see it from 20 feet back. This is regular vision, right? Now, they coined this phrase from being able to see, right? We know that these people don't do anything by chance. So when we get to the year of 2020, if it's actually supposed to mean regular vision, what do they have to do? In order for you not to be able to see, what do they have to do? They have to bring a distraction. They have to distort your vision. Right? So check it out. You have the year 2020, and when the year 2020 pop off, For one, everybody conscious now. Huh? Everybody conscious. Don't nobody go to church no more. Everybody conscious. You're Egyptologist, you're a Hebrew Israelite, you're a Nubian, you this, that, whatever. You something other than what you was. Right? You're something other than sleep. The phrase on social media is what?
Stay woke.
Stay woke. I'm woke. And in 2020, everybody was supposed to be woke. This is the vision year. Right? So now the land that we in, the people that we under, the people that we dealing with, you don't think that they do this? You don't think that they would look at this and say, what should 2020 look like? Right? So what happened at the top of the year? Anybody remember? First thing happened at the top of the year. Kobe died. Sent the world in a frenzy. What happened after that? We were supposed to be going to war because the Iranian general got killed. Right? 2020 started off crazy, right? Then what happened after that? Corona is mentioned to you. A virus that they already had a vaccine for back however many years ago. Right? It's mentioned. Oh, it's over there in China. Right? Then later on, what happened? Not even, it ain't come yet. Before it actually hit, Trump was about to get impeached. You don't even get a break from stuff. It's just happening back to back. Distractions. Back to back to back to back to back. In the year of what? Vision. 2020 vision. Then after that, Trump get acquitted of all impeachment charges. And after he get acquitted of all impeachment charges, Corona. First, Corona has hit America, but it's only in one spot, right? Then it started to act a fool, right? Oh, it's not just Corona, it's COVID-19, right? You don't get a break. Celebrities catching it, people dying. You don't get a break in the year of vision. Why is that? The first thing that they came out with, the first news that you heard is that who couldn't catch it? Why in the heck would they say that? Why would that be a thing unless they was trying to get you to, right? Then who did it start killing more? Black folks, right? Hebrews, right? Nubians, Africans, you know, Hamites, Shemites. That's right, huh? Then it start to hit our people kind of hard. You still don't get a break in the year of 2020 vision. Not too long after that, guess what? Everything started to, all right, y'all, we got to start opening back up. We're about to start getting this stuff back together. Then what happened?
Started back up again. Spiked.
No, before the spike. What happened? No, not even yet. Bodie just mentioned it. You start getting some money. Everybody get $1,200. And if you got kids, you get $500 more per child. If you got a business, we'll give you up to $1 million. Right? Everybody is paid. Right? Trump ain't that bad.
4 or 5.
Trump ain't that bad. I got money. Right? And you see what they do? Everybody got a pocket full of money. So guess what they're not worried about? Nothing. Oh man, I ain't gonna get that Corona, man. We about to go get some bottles, because guess what? Everything was closed except for who? The liquor store. Right? So
turn the lights down.
So the year of vision has turned out to be nothing but distraction over and over and over and over again. Right? So everything started to subside, and then here comes this George Floyd case. Right? George Floyd get killed for everybody in the world to see. Right? And this doesn't, like, just like we had a global pandemic, this wasn't just America. This was a global plane surface all around in the dome pandemic. Now we have all around in the dome cry, right? Not just America. Over in all of these other countries, they're talking about brutality, right? Police brutality for black people, right? Another what? Distraction. I'm gonna ask y'all in here, how many of y'all during the break spent more time with the Most High than you did before? And be honest. Right? Because distractions got to us too, right? It pulled you away from everything that's the Most High. Even though you had ample time. Right? You were so separated from the Most High, even though it was the most time that you had to be with Him. Because ain't nobody in the room with you to know what you're doing on the Shabbat. Ain't nobody checking up on you to see if you read your book during the week. You had the most time to spend with the Most High, but you didn't. Because you were distracted in the year of 2020. Because your book got skewed too. Right? So now, we got this George Floyd case going on. Do y'all know what the new thing is? So we had riots all over. Yeah. Everybody rioted, burned down Target, burned down this, burned down that, painting the streets with Black Lives Matter. But then it came out that Black Lives Matter is actually backed by the Democratic Party, which is paying all of the money that people was donating to the same people that you fight against. Black Lives Matter ain't even for you. But then, guess what they did? The last thing that they did. Y'all, anybody know what the last thing that they did? The LGBTQ integrated with the Black Lives Matter movement. So now, it says that the first protest for LGBTQ was from a black transvestite. So Black Lives Matter is not just Black Lives Matter without the LGBTQ, FGHIJ. Right? So this whole year when you're supposed to be focused, because that's what I get when I hear 2020, that's what I used to think, focus. When you're supposed to be focused, you completely blinded. And we fail for it. But now we get mad, like, oh man, these people did this, these people did that to us, they killing us, you get riled up. There was a statue down south, I forget the statue that was taken down. Y'all know the statue that was broken and taken down? You remember the name of it?
Christopher Columbus?
No, not the Columbus. There was another guy.
Robert Lee? Lee?
Do y'all know what that statue there signified? It was a peace treaty between whites and blacks. And they riled us up to take it down. So guess what the talk is amongst the KKK elites? They broke the treaty. I'm about to go start getting niggas. A couple days ago, they had a black woman hanging from off the freeway. See, all of this stuff is a distraction from what you really need to be looking at, right? We got brothers that focused on, hey, we need to get community because the food is, we know the food is horrible, right? We got our seeds, we got our gardens, we got everything popping, right? We starting to get to our healthy kick, right? But then we put more focus into that. focusing on. Right? Everything has a balance. But who made it like this in the first place? We did. Deuteronomy 7:6. Do you realize that we the chosen people? Do you realize that we have near and dear to us the God of the earth? We did it. You're not blind because they're blinding you. You're not getting killed in the streets because they doing it from their own merit. The only way you're able to get this done to you is because you took away the protection. Deuteronomy 7:6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For you are a Kodesh people.
The Most High said you are what?
A Kodesh people. Unto Yahuwah your Elohim. Yahuwah your Elohim have chosen you to be a special people unto himself.
To who?
Unto himself.
He chose you to be special to him. Right? The Elohim of all the earth. He said, look, y'all are the ones who I'm going to have near and dear to me. Read.
That are above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Yahuwah did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people. But because Yahuwah Elohim loved you.
Because he what?
Loved you.
Because he loved you, he did what?
And because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, have Yahuwah brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondage.
He took us out of the house of bondage. He chose us to himself. We made a covenant. Deuteronomy chapter 32. Fellas, y'all got wives in here, right? You'll protect them with your what? With your life. If it's up to you, nothing will happen to your wife. Nothing will happen to your children in your presence. Why would it be any different with the Most High? But what if she chooses to leave out from your protection? Not just once, not just twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but continually. Your door is a revolving door. At what point do you say, you know what, you want to be gone, be gone? Deuteronomy chapter 32. Pick it up at verse 9.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 9. For Yahuwah's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
He said that's his portion. Mashiach's portion is the people. Read.
He found him in a desert land and in the waste, howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye.
As the what?
As the apple of his eye.
That means that he protected you. You were something special in his eyes, right? When you hear that term, apple of his eye, apple of her eye, this is something that is precious to you. This ain't something that's just, oh, this is a regular, you know. You don't hear grape to his eye, right? Apple of his eye, right? Read.
As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings.
He bare us on his wings when he took us up out of Egypt. That's what he said. Read.
So Yahuwah alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him.
He said there was no what?
Strange God with him.
When I took you from where I took you from, it wasn't no strange God with you. It wasn't no strange God with him. It was you and him, right? Made a covenant together. I want y'all to get this in your mind because of what we about to get into, right? Verse 13.
Verse 13. He made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields. And he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock, butter of kine, and milk of sheep, with fat of lambs, and rams of breed of Basans, and goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat, and thou didst drink the pure blood of the grapes.
So we understand that he gave us the best when he took us up out of there. He didn't half step with you. He didn't say, oh, I got to get to know you a little better. Right? He went all the way. Right? All right. Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 6. So he says, you're the apple of my eye. I chose you. Right? Ezekiel 16 and 6.
Ezekiel chapter 16 and verse 6. And when I passed by you and saw you polluted in your own blood, I said unto you, when thou was in thy blood, live. Yea, I said unto you, when thou was in thy blood, live. I have caused you to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased and waxen great, and thou art come to excellent ornaments thy breast and fashion, and thy hair is grown, whereas thou was naked and bare. Now when I passed by thee and looked upon you, behold, the time was the time of love, and I spread my skirt over you, and covered your nakedness. Yea, I swear unto you, and into a covenant with you, saith Yahuwah Elohim, and thou becamest mine.
You became mine. Ownership. Right? For you brothers again, if you have a wife, and you done all this stuff for her, you would expect for her to at least do what you require. Right? As a woman, as a wife, if your man done all this stuff for you, shouldn't you owe him an obligation to do what he required? But when we look up today, even as Israelites, we say, look at what these people did to us. No, look at what you did to yourself. You can't see clearly that you're the one who did this to you. But you turned on him. Deuteronomy 32:15, you turned on him. You forced his hand. You did it, not him. All of these distractions, you had ample time to show him your love. To show him if those excuses that you was making before 2020 hit, if those was valid. Because what was the excuse before? Man, I work a whole lot. Man, I ain't got enough time to just study. Those promises you made him, if you just give me a job that free me up, I promise you, I'm going to get into my word. Right? He gave you that opportunity to see if that stuff was valid, and what did you do with it? Deuteronomy 32:15.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 15. But Jeshurun waxed fat.
But they did what?
But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat. Thou art grown thick. Thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook Elohim.
Then you did what?
Forsook Elohim.
When he gave you everything you wanted, he put money in your pocket. They ain't put money in your pocket, he did. Look at it like that. You got money in your pocket. You got your stimulus check. Or you got your job still. But you got time off. How many of y'all went hungry during the pandemic? How many of y'all didn't have transportation during the pandemic? So you had everything you need, yeah? Everything you need?
Hallelujah.
Except you didn't choose him. You chose to do what you wanted to do. You chose to take the time of leisure and not spend it with the one who gave you breath to do whatever you want to do. But that's going to lead to something, right? Read.
But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat. Thou art grown thick. Thou art covered with fatness. When he forsook Elohim, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation.
So you forsook the one who made you, and you lightly esteemed his rock of salvation. You lightly esteemed his son. We.
He provoked him to jealousy with strange idols,
With who?
with strange gods.
Well, I wasn't worshiping no God. Y'all wasn't worshiping no God during this thing, right? None of that, right? Or was we? Or did we? What did we put in place of the Most High during this time?
Self.
Yourself, your desires, our wants. He's our need, but we put other things in front of him. He said, you did this with strange gods. Look at what we did to him. Just this small space of time for the same people that go to the service every week. And you know what we always say? We would have never did that to the Most High. And he showed you that we would. You're the children of the prophets. I mean, you're the children of the people who killed the prophets. That's who we are. Read.
Nothing new.
With abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed
With what?
to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to Elohim, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came up newly.
They do what?
That came up newly.
Some of y'all got, or some of us, got that money. And we started to put it into things that would soak up all of our time. That new stuff that you wouldn't even thought about doing before you had the money, but now I got the money, I'm about to go ahead. I'm about to get it in. Right? Read.
Newly came up, whom your fathers feared not, of the rock that begat thee. Thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten El that formed you.
We forgot the Most High that made us. We did. So now there's a punishment. That's all we deserve from the Most High. That's all we deserve is punishment. We don't deserve to be taken back to our land. We don't deserve everything that we say that we deserve. Father, can you please take us up out of this land that we in? Father, can you please do this and do that, do this and do that? But do you deserve it? Do we actually deserve it? So as a man that's been scorned by a woman over and over and over and over again, he only did what he could do. And that's this, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28. We don't touch this a lot no more. Y'all know the curses, right? Don't know the curses? Not for real.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 28. Yahuwah shall smite thee with madness.
With what?
With madness.
With madness. Right? What type of madness do our people deal with?
All types.
All type. He ain't even nothing specific. He said, I'm going to smite you with madness. What else?
And blindness.
And who?
And blindness.
And what?
And blindness.
I'm going to smite you with madness and I'm going to smite you with blindness. What else?
And astonishment of heart.
And what?
And astonishment of heart.
Now here's another, what does astonishment mean?
Like a surprise.
Like to be surprised? There's another word there.
Astonished. Bewilderment.
Bewildered.
Stupefaction.
What happened?
Stupefaction.
Stupefaction.
Make you look dumb.
Now let's see how he actually made you look dumb, because he smote you with blindness and madness, right? Read the next verse.
Verse 29. And you shall grope at noonday.
You shall do what?
Grope at noonday.
Now he said you're going to grope at noonday. What does the word grope mean?
Feel.
To feel, right? To feel around.
In the middle of the noon.
And what? At noonday.
Like a blind man.
Now, if you look outside, we are a little past noon, right?
Yes, sir.
Is it bright outside?
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, at noonday, it's brighter than that.
Yes, sir.
But he said, you are going to be filling around in the middle of the day. The brightest part of the day. So on the outside looking in, to me, you look crazy. This is because of what you did to him. Right? Isaiah 59 and 10. I want to give you a picture of what this looked like. Because we forget. As a people, we forget. We get so caught up in, I know what the word is, that you forget that you got to continuously be in it. We forget. So he said, I'm going to smite you with blindness, and you're going to grope at noonday. Isaiah 59:10.
Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 10. We grope for the wall.
We do what?
We grope for the wall. Like the blind.
Like the what?
Like the blind.
We grope for the wall like the blind.
And we grope as if we had no eyes.
And we grope as if we had what?
No eyes.
As if we had no eyes. Read.
We stumble at noonday.
We stumble like what?
At noonday.
Remember what Mashiach said? He said he come to work the works of him that sent him while it is yet what?
Day.
Because at night what happens?
No man worketh.
No man work. And he'll do what? Stumble and fall. So you looking like how you would look at nighttime with darkness in the middle of the day. When all the lights is off in your house. And you got to get up and use the bathroom. You get out that bed. What you do? Kids got toy. Right? You feeling around, right? But he said you're going to do this in the middle of the day because of what you did to him. This is why you're a proverb and a byword. A lot of people don't teach the curses like go hand in hand with each other, right? They teach they all separate things. No, they go hand in hand with each other. The reason why you this proverb and this byword is because you out here looking stupid. That's what we look like. We look stupid. Because of what we did to our Creator. Because of what we did to the one that said he chose us out of all the families of the earth. Imagine 70-something families out here. He said, that one. Could you imagine being chosen 1 out of 70? Right? Imagine Michael Jackson sitting on stage and it's all the, however many thousands of people at his concert. All the women screaming and passing out, and he say, "You, come here." That woman will probably have a heart attack because she got chose. Not the fact that she even got there, but just because he pointed and said, "You." Right? We had that in more with the Most High. Right? We had that in more with the Most High, but we chose to do otherwise. What verse you at, huh?
Verse 10, read finish.
Good.
We grope for the wall like the blind, and we grope as if we had no eyes. We stumble at noonday, as in the night. We are in the desolate place as dead men.
We are in the what?
Desolate places as dead men.
Verse 11.
We roar all like bears.
We do what?
We roar all like bears.
And what?
And mourn sore like doves. We look for judgment, but there is none. For salvation, but it is far off from us.
We all look for salvation, right? Who gonna help us? That's one of the reasons why the people that are Egyptologists say, well, where is your God when this happened? Where was your God when this happened? Because everybody looking for salvation. We all looking to get up out of this situation, but not looking at the fact that we caused it in the first place. Right? Job chapter 12, verse 25. He said, you look for salvation, but it ain't there. Look at what you did to him. Not once, not twice. We did this to the Most High over and over and over. Read the book of Judges. Read Psalms. You'll see it. Job 12:25.
Job chapter 12 and verse 25. They grope in the dark without light.
They do what?
They grope in the dark without light.
They supposed to grope when?
They grope in the dark without light.
At nighttime is when you're supposed to grope. But he said you grope in the dark when there's no light, right? Read.
And he maketh them to stagger like a drunken man.
And he make him to do what?
Stagger like a drunken man.
Now he made you to stagger like a drunken man. Because that's how we look as a people. Right? But we got pride, you know, black power, and, you know, we the strongest on earth. We the, what? That don't make sense. How many more people would not have been afraid of Goliath if he was drunk? If he was staggering out there, everybody would have wanted to whoop on him. Right? Psalms 107. I wanted you to see a picture of what that groping actually looked like, but now let's talk about the day. He said you're going to grope at noonday, the brightest part of the day, you're going to be groping. Psalm 107 verse 8.
Psalms 107 and verse 8. Oh, that man would praise Yahuwah.
He said what?
Oh, that man would praise Yahuwah.
He crying out, oh man, if they would just praise Yahuwah. If man would just praise the Most High. But we don't. Not with our actions. Not with our actions. Read.
And for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men.
We supposed to praise him for this stuff. Like I said, 2020 has probably been, as a collective, our worst experience with submission to the Most High. If you can think into your mind about this particular year, just you, individually, has this been the worst time in your life for submission to the Most High? Have you actually took time and submitted to him and his word? In the year of vision, in the year of focus. So they so call it. Go ahead.
Verse 9. For he satisfied the longing soul and filled the hungry soul with goodness, such as sit in darkness and in the shadow of death.
He said he do what to those souls?
For he satisfied the longing soul and filled the hungry soul with goodness, such as sit in darkness and in the shadow of death.
He satisfied those souls that sit in the shadow of death. His goal is to bring you into the light. Right? Read.
And in the shadow of death, being bound in affliction and iron, because they rebelled against the words of El and contempted the counsel of the Most High. Therefore, he brought down their hearts with labor. They fell down there and was none to help. Then they cried unto Yahuwah in their trouble, and he saved them out of their distress. He brought them out of the darkness and the shadow of death, and break their bands asunder.
So if he brought them out of the shadow of death, where would they go to?
Light.
The light. Right? He took them out of darkness, brought us in the light. Psalms chapter 37, verse 3. That's what he did for us. But even when we got into the light, we didn't act right. So he says, I'm going to make you grope at noonday. Do we got like a thumb on 6 miles? Man. Psalms 37, verse 3. He said, you're going to grope at noonday.
Psalms chapter 37 and verse 3. Trust in Yahuwah and do good.
Do what?
Trust in Yahuwah and do good.
Trust in yourself and do evil.
Trust in Yahuwah and do good.
This is all he gave you to do. Read.
So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed.
That's how you're going to get to the land. That's how you're going to get fed. Trust in the Most High and do good. That's what he laid out for us. Right? But we are so stuck on the stuff that they're showing us, we don't realize that we actually blind. Read.
Verse 4. Delight thyself also in Yahuwah, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy ways unto
Do
Yahuwah.
what now?
Commit your ways unto Yahuwah.
Commit your ways to the Most High. How hard is that? It's very hard when you're distracted. It's very hard when you're not focused. Read.
Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light.
He said he gonna bring forth your righteousness as what?
As the light.
So in the light, it's supposed to be what? Righteousness. I'm gonna bring forth your righteousness as the light. Genesis chapter 1. We're coming back here though. He said he's gonna bring forth your righteousness as the light. So now we gotta go to where he bring forth the light. Genesis 1 and 1.
Genesis chapter 1 and 1. In the beginning, Elohim created the Shamayim and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Ruach of Elohim moved upon the face of the waters. And Elohim said, let there be light.
Let there be what?
Let there be light.
From our understanding, what was this?
Mashiach.
It's Mashiach. He brought forth righteousness. Right? Now, if that's the case, and he said he want to bring you forth as he brought forth the light, your righteousness as the light, then he's trying to show you that I'm trying to bring you forth as I did my son. But we reject it by what we do. Read. What else he said about the light?
And Elohim said, let there be light, and there was light. And Elohim saw that the light, that it was good.
He saw that the light was what?
It was good.
It was good to be in the light, but you distorted it. As a people, we distorted the light because guess what we did? We turned on it. So he said, I'm gonna make you blind in the night, in the light. Make you grope in the light. Right? Read.
And Elohim divided the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night.
A long time ago, he separated the dark from the light. A long time ago, he took the light from out of the dark. A long time ago. He did the same thing with us. Then he tells you, you are the children of the what?
Light.
Of the light. Not the darkness. But we moving in darkness. So I'm going to give you the light. And I'm going to make you look crazy in it. Because he gave us Mashiach. But he made us blind to him. He made us grope with Mashiach around us. Because you're going to grope at noonday. Revelation chapter 21. Verse 22. The light is more than just what you see as the sun. Revelation 21:22.
Revelation chapter 21 and verse 22. And I saw no temple therein, for Yahuwah Elohim Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it.
So he talking about this new kingdom to come, right? He said they the temple of it. What else?
And the city had no need of the sun.
It had no need of the sun because what?
Neither of the moon
Uh-huh.
to shine in it. For the esteem of Elohim did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof.
They the what?
The light thereof.
So when he take you out of darkness and bring you into light, he bringing you into who? Into him. He making you a part of his fold when he bring you into the light. But your actions show him that you don't want that. Your actions show him otherwise. So how dare you ask him for anything? How dare we? How dare we ask him for anything? It ain't peaches and cream right now, y'all. We in the midst of a turn of a century right now. And we looking to people to help us that don't want to help us.
Yeah.
We looking and turning and finding and confiding in people that don't care for you. When he giving you the light. Psalms 37 again. Verse 5. Actually start at verse 4.
Psalms chapter 37 and verse 4. Delight thyself also in Yahuwah, and he shall give thee the desires of your heart. Commit thy way unto Yahuwah. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and the judgment as the noonday.
As the judgment as the what?
Noonday.
This is going to be a good thing. But now your noonday, our noonday, as the children of Israel, is filled with blindness and groping. Read.
Rest in Yahuwah and wait patiently for him.
Do what now?
Rest in Yahuwah and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prepareth in his way. Because
prosper in his way.
Who prosper in his way. Because the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil.
Because what?
For evildoers shall be cut off.
What is evil? Remember we talked about this stuff, right? You going against the Most High? That's evil. It's definitely a part of evil when you're going against the Most High. It don't matter if it's a small sin or a great sin. All of them is looked at as sin. You got levels to it. Transgression. You got iniquity. Right? But it's all going against the Father. So don't look at your evil as, oh, well, you know, I ain't really did. I only did this and this. They did this and this. Because he look at it as you rebelled against me. He only told a little lie. You rebelled against me. That's how he look at it. When you put something in front of him, he look at it like you put something in front of him. Read. For evildoers shall be cut off.
For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon Yahuwah, they shall inherit the earth.
They shall do what?
Inherit the earth.
These people are going to inherit the earth. Proverbs chapter 6. Pick it up at verse 23.
Proverbs chapter 6 and 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light.
The commandment is a what?
The commandment is a lamp, and the law is light.
So just like he brought the light out of the darkness, right? If you in darkness, and you take hold to his law, you take hold to the lamp, you take hold to the light, then what happens? You're no longer in darkness, right? When we was going through the wilderness, and it was thick darkness at night, he said that he was a what? Pillar of fire for you, so you can see. When it was thick darkness in Egypt, he made you be able to see. But we take that for granted. We throw it away. In the year of vision, we allow these people to distort it. Where you at?
23.
Go ahead, finish it up.
For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instructions are the way of life.
They're the way of what?
Of life.
So if you're not moving along those lines, then you're choosing death by default. We choosing death by default. But don't forget that he the one who made you blind because of what you did. But there's a particular point in time where you choosing to be in the dark. He already sent his son. There's a particular point in time where we're choosing to be in the dark. Alright? Matter of fact, go to Judges chapter 12. Judges chapter 12. Let's pick it up in verse 5. How quickly we forget.
Judges chapter 12 and verse 5. And the Gileadites took the passages of Jordan.
Hold on. 5. Judges chapter 5. I'm sorry. Not verse 5. chapter 5. Pick it up at verse 11. If I save your life, you're not supposed to forget that, right? But if you start to forget that, only thing I should have to do is say, hey bro, you know I saved your life. And put you back in subjection, right? And you know you wouldn't be here without me. Right? Now, people have sorely misused this. Judges 5:11. People have sorely misused this, and we're about to deal with it today. Because they go, oh, what are we talking about? Sometimes you need a reminder from the Most High. Judges chapter 5 and verse 11.
Judges chapter 5 and verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the place of drawing water, there shall be rehearsed. There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of Yahuwah.
They shall what?
Rehearse the righteous acts of Yahuwah.
You're supposed to rehearse the righteous acts of Yahuwah. Read.
Even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of Yahuwah go down to the gates.
All right. Who knows what this is? How was this taught? Who was taught this verse before? You rehearse the righteous acts. How was that taught to you?
To practice. To right now while we in captivity, to practice keeping the law a certain way.
Anybody else got that sentiment from this?
I did.
So we were taught that this means that you are supposed to practice, rehearse the righteous acts while we in captivity. Right? Read it again. Go ahead.
They that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the place of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of Yahuwah, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel.
Where did he say that?
In Israel.
In captivity.
In Israel.
Okay, go ahead.
Then shall the people of Yahuwah go down to the gates.
So location is off already. Has nothing to do with rehearsing righteous acts in captivity because he mentions in Israel, right? But let's get the totality of what this is actually talking about. Because he says, they that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the place of drawing water, places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of Yahuwah. Now, what does rehearse mean?
Remember.
Practice. Right? The way they teach it is you should try and keep as best as you can. Right? Is there any such thing? No. I'm going to practice being right. I'm not all the way there yet. I'm just going to try to think about trying to do right. No, don't work like that. So let's see what he means when he say rehearse the righteous acts. Go up to verse 1. We're going to skip down a little bit.
Judges chapter 5 and verse 1. Then sang Deborah and Barak, the son of Abnomon, on the day, saying, Praise Yahuwah for avenging of Israel, when the people willingly offered themselves. Hear, O ye kings, give ear, O ye princes. I, even I, will sing unto Yahuwah. I will sing praise to Yahuwah, Elohim of Israel. Yahuwah, when thou wentest out of Seir.
When you did what?
When you wentest out of Seir.
What word did they use? When you did what? Went out of Seir. What is that word? Past tense. When you went out of Seir. Read.
When thou marchest out of the field of Edom, the earth trembled.
The earth did what?
Trembled.
Trembled. What is that type of word? Past tense. Go ahead.
And the Samaim dropped. The clouds also dropped water.
Dropped. What is that? Past tense. Read.
And the mountains melted.
Melted. What is that? Alright, come on, keep going.
And the mountains melted from before Yahuwah.
Verse 7.
The inhabitants of the villages ceased. They ceased in Israel until that I, Deborah, arose, that I arose a mother in Israel. They chose.
They did what?
They chose new gods.
Chose. Alright. Somebody still. Go ahead.
Then was war in the gates. Was there a shield of spear or seed among 40,000 in Israel? My heart is toward the governors of Israel, that they offered themselves willingly, and the people bless ye Yahuwah. Speak ye that ride on white donkeys, ye that sit in judgment and walk by the way. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers.
So if you're delivered from the noise of the archers, that means you just got what? Saved. Right? Read.
In the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts.
So if they just got saved and taken to a place, what are they supposed to be doing?
Remembering. Celebrating. Remembering.
Remembering, celebrating, rehearsing. But what is that rehearsing? Practicing? What's that word? What's that word there? That word rehearse.
Comes from the Hebrew 8567. It says to recount, rehearse, tell again.
To do what?
To recount, rehearse, tell again.
Tell these people, when he says rehearse the righteous acts of Yahuwah, go and tell them what I did for them. Run it down to them so they can remember who they serving.
Hallelujah.
This is what this is actually talking about. Run it down to them. Rehearse the righteous acts of who?
Yahuwah.
Of who?
Yahuwah.
Of you and I.
Yahuwah.
Of the Most High. Tell them what I did for them. Tell them what I brought them from. Right? He says, rehearse the righteous acts. Read.
Of Yahuwah. Even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages.
Of whose villages?
His villages in Israel.
Tell them what I did for my villages in Israel. And sometimes we need a reminder. Sometimes we get so far off and removed from the word, so far off and removed from the path, that you just need to be reminded. You won't be dead out here without him. He brought us up out of Egypt. He brought us up out of Babylon. He brought us from under the hand of the Philistines. He brought us over and over and over again. Sometimes you need to hear it, right? Because you get off into your own world. You get away from him. And you start to make what you're doing right. Right? Because you don't remember that he said, hey, I saved your life. You know that, right? Right? Some of us have been brought away from madness in our life. Been on the side of righteousness and slid right back into it. It's time to rehearse the righteous acts. He brought you out of darkness into the light, right? Stay in the light. Take the blinders off.
That reads a little bit different in the Hallelujah.
Good.
By the voice of the shouters between the places of drawing water, there they recount the righteous acts of Yahuwah, the righteous acts of his leadership in Israel. Then the people of Yahuwah shall go down to the gates.
Same thing. What he said is when they go down to those places or those waters, tell them about the stuff that the Most High did. Recount the righteous acts. Recount. Say them again. Bring it back. Run it back. Bring the hook back.
Where it says inhabitants,
Go ahead.
as leadership, as opposed to.
I'm sorry. I'm not getting what you're saying.
When you read it in the KJV, it says,
Even the righteous acts towards
Okay.
because it's saying leadership instead of inhabitants. Hallelujah.
by the
Good.
voice of shouters to the place of drawing water. There they recount the righteous acts of Yahuwah, the righteous acts of his leadership in Israel, then the people of Yahuwah shall go down to the gates.
So I get the, but in
Of
KJV,
his leadership, of the Most High's leadership, not the leaders.
right? But the KJV doesn't say his inhabitants.
Hold on.
So maybe I'm missing.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Hold on, wait.
This makes more sense, but
see, in the KJV, the inhabitants is not even there.
it's italicized. Yeah.
It's not there.
Right. It's that italicized. When it's italicized, it's saying that it's not,
Really.
it ain't really there. But all in all, what he's saying is,
I get the overall
Right.
message. Yeah.
rehearse what the Most High did, right? And that's what we need sometimes, right? Let's jump over. Go back to Deuteronomy 28. 28. Again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 28. Yahuwah shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart, and you shall grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and you shall not prosper in your
You
ways.
say you should not what?
Prosper in your ways,
Uh-huh.
and you shall be only oppressed and spoiled even more, and no man shall save you.
No man shall what?
Save you.
See, no man shall save you. That means redeem you. Isaiah 44. Isaiah 44, 18. It's just a reminder, right? This blindness didn't happen to you by chance. But at a certain point in time, you're choosing it.
Isaiah chapter 44, verse 18. They have not known, nor understood, for he have shut their eyes.
He have done what?
He have shut their eyes.
I'll shut your eyes.
He have shut their eyes,
He shut your eyes, read.
that they cannot see, and their hearts that they cannot understand.
Read.
And none considereth in his heart.
None do what?
Considereth in his heart.
None considers in his heart what?
Neither is there knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire. Yea, also I have baked bread upon the coals thereof. I have roasted flesh and eaten it, and I shall make the residue thereof an abomination. Shall I fall down to the stock of a tree? He feedeth on ashes. A deceived heart have turned him aside.
A what heart?
A deceived heart have turned him aside.
Like what Quad was talking about, right? When he's talking about the dressed up lie, that's what we fell for this whole time. This whole time we fell for the lie. But when are we going to actually want to go and seek out the truth? I ain't talking about what we call the truth. Oh, you're in the truth, brother. You know, I'm not talking about that. Because there's a lot of people that say that they in the truth, but individually you are horrible. Right? When it's what he said, the Pharisees go out and make proselytes twofold the child of hell. That some of us are like that. Some of us are twofold the child of hell. So what truth are you actually holding on to? Take the blinders off. See him for what he wants you to be. Job chapter 23, verse 9. J-O-B, job. Employment. 9 to 5. Job 23 verse 9.
Job chapter 23 and verse 9. On the left hand where he doth work, but I cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand that I cannot see him.
He said he knew what?
He hideth himself on the right hand that I cannot see him.
He took himself away from us. He already told us that he was the what? The light. When I said he took himself away from us to where we couldn't see him. Read.
But he knoweth the way that I take. When he have tried me, I shall come forth as gold.
He said, but when I get tried, Job is saying, I know that I'm going to come forth as what? As gold. Can you say the same? When you were tried, when you were tested, when you were given that opportunity to pass or fail, which one did you do? Essentially, when you take a quiz in school, it's not because the material was hard that you failed. It's because you didn't study. Right? My teacher don't like me, man. He keep failing me. The teacher didn't write on your paper what you wrote. You did that. Right? And Job is saying, on the other side, I'm going to come out like gold when I'm tried. What about us? He presented the light to us. He gave us his son, but what are we choosing? We choosing to be like the sons that killed the prophets. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 30 verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahuwah.
Woe to the who?
Woe to the rebellious children,
Woe to us. Read.
saith Yahuwah, that take counsel, but not of me.
Verse 9.
That this is a rebellious people, lying children.
They what?
Lying children. Children that will not hear the law of Yahuwah.
Children that will not what?
Hear the law of Yahuwah.
See, not hearing the law of Yahuwah, right? When we look at the children of Israel, we wasn't strangers to the Most High, right? We were like in the land. We knew what we were supposed to do. We knew right from wrong, right? But we chose to go otherwise. We chose to do something opposite of what he said. And we made excuses for it. It's the same thing with the people that are in the truth now. You pick and choose and cherry pick the law. Oh, I'm going to do this part, but I'm not going to do this part. Oh, I can go into this, but I'm not going to go into this. Oh, yeah, I'm righteous because of this, but yeah, I don't care about that. Look at your life as a whole. Look at what you're doing. Are you choosing blindness? Are you choosing it? He said he gave the light was good. His son said he came to work to him that sent him in the light. He told you you're the children of light and not the children of darkness. But if you resemble the children of darkness, then what? I can't tell the difference. It's supposed to be light around you. But if you look like them, then you is them. That's what it is. That's what it is to him. If you was found in that house at Baal when he told all the people who served him to get out, what happened?
Destroyed.
You got killed too. Because you look like them to me.
Wow.
Right? Verse 9 again?
Verse 9. This is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of Yahuwah, which say to the seers, see not.
They say to the seers what?
See not.
So if they're the seers, that means that they have a what?
Vision.
They got vision. These people who are in darkness or who's blinded, who the Most High is sending to allow them to see something, are saying what?
See not.
Don't see. What else?
And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things.
He said, don't prophesy right things to us. When somebody is giving prophecy, what are they normally trying to show you? The word of what?
Future.
The future. The word of the Most High about the future. About how you're going to end up. What this is going to look like. But they say,
prophesy not unto us right things, speaking to us smooth things.
Tell me something that I want to hear. Don't hurt my feelings. Right? Tell me something that's going to make me feel good. My man on Players Club, what do he say? Do something to make me feel better. Right? Y'all might not know about that. Right? You want somebody to tell you something good. Tell you something smooth. Tell you something that's going to make you feel okay about what you're doing. And if I do that, I'm giving you a disservice. I'm doing you a disservice. And I'd be dog if my soul be in jeopardy because I don't enlighten the people. Right? Read.
Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speaking to us smooth things, prophesy deceits.
Do what?
Prophesy lies.
Prophesy lies to us. Tell us lies. Tell us what we want to hear. We know what the truth is, but we don't want to hear the truth because it don't feel good. I wouldn't be in the truth today if somebody didn't tell me the truth.
Yeah.
None of us would be.
Yeah.
But you know what came with somebody telling you about the Most High? Hey, brother, you know the children of Israel? So all that bad stuff that you did, you started to feel good about it now. Ooh, I'm a part of the children of Israel. And you hung yourself on the good stuff, negating the bad. So what you start to do is you start doing righteously for a minute, but you never dealt with the Negro that you was. You never dealt with the person that you was before you got the information.
Yeah.
So you revert.
Yeah.
And you go back. And now you worse. And then you tell the people who come to you and say, hey man, you off. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear that.
I've been in this dude for 10 years.
Come on, man. Read.
Wherefore, thus saith the Kodesh one of Israel, because you despise, hold on, verse 11, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the
They
path.
get out the way. Turn aside from us. Read.
Out of the path, cause the Kodesh one of Israel to cease from before us.
We don't want the light. He told you he was the light. We don't want the light. Read.
Wherefore, thus saith the Kodesh one of Israel, because you despise this word and trust in oppression.
He said, because you did what?
Despise this word.
You despised the word and you trusted what?
Oppressions and perverseness, and stay thereon. Therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out of an high wall, whose breaking cometh forth suddenly at an instant.
So what he's telling you is, you drawing the line, right? So I'm going to go ahead and break up this wall right here, and it's going to start to weigh down, and weigh down, and weigh down, until it fall. Y'all, anybody who came to my house and seen that garage? Y'all seen my garage in my backyard? What did it look like? It was slanted, right?
The leaning tower.
I said leaning on the rock. Right? That mother was leaning. Afraid that it was going to do what? Fall. I reached out to the brother and said, look y'all, man, my kids play back there. I don't want that thing to fall suddenly. So we got to take this mother down. Right? If you know that your house is about to fall or that it's falling, sometimes you just got to tear it apart yourself and do the work to build it back up. Because at least you can brace yourself when you tear it down. Right? That was the end of verse 13?
Yeah.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 8. I ain't going to hold y'all too much longer. This is just one of the reminder joints. You know what I'm saying? I say, take your time, Pastor. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 8. Actually, I'm sorry. Start up at verse 6.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 6. Let no man deceive you.
Let no man do what?
Deceive you with vain words.
With who?
With vain
With
words.
smooth words. I bet y'all if y'all had some instructors or some teachers that was like, hey, y'all got that stimulus check, you gonna get 5 more. It's gonna be 2,000 instead of 1,000. Like, yeah, I'm going back there. Right? Pastor brought it. Boy said we gonna get 5 more stimulus checks. Read.
Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of Elohim.
He said these vain words come the wrath of the Most High. Vain words, words that don't mean nothing. They see that you in error, but they don't talk to you about it. I'm going to come to you and talk to you about the new shoes you got on, but I know that you in sin. That don't work like that. Read.
Come up the wrath of Elohim upon the children of disobedience. Be not ye therefore partakers with them.
He said, don't be what?
Partakers with them.
Read.
For ye were sometimes in darkness.
You were sometimes in what?
For you were sometimes darkness. But now are ye light.
But now you're what?
But now you're light.
Read.
In the Master, walk as the children of light.
Walk as the children of light. Walk like how you supposed to. Stop being the same thing that they've been calling you for. Stop being a nigga.
Yeah.
Oops, did I say something wrong?
No. Tell the truth.
Stop being that. It don't do you no justice when it comes to the Most High. You a nigga to them and you a nigga to him. Oops. Did I say something wrong? Right? It's time out for the small talk. We done had 2 ox. Well, me personally, I done had 2 ox pass this year. Suddenly, abruptly, out of nowhere. And my thought process is they can't do nothing else for or against their salvation. That's my thought. They can't do nothing else in their passing to say, let me get this right. Which means at the time of departure from breath, they had to be right or not. And that was the stamp. But I'm supposed to come in here and say smooth things to y'all.
No, sir.
I gotta look in the mirror and tell myself right from wrong. So why, if I would tell it to me, would I lie to you? Or give you something easy to digest? Absolutely not. Stop being blind on purpose. I can't see you, Brother Travis. I can't see you, Brother Quad. Put your hand down, man. Oh. Stop doing that. Stop being a person who knows the right thing and do otherwise. What's going to get you? Where is it going to get you with an early grave? Even if it's not an early grave, it's a deep one. Right? Who we at, huh?
Verse 9.
Go ahead.
For the fruit of the Ruach is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Master.
It says that it's proven what's acceptable to the Most High. How many of you don't know what's acceptable to the Most High? Let's be honest. How many of us sitting here don't know what is acceptable to the Most High? We know, right?
Yes, sir.
So if that's something that we know, why would we choose to do otherwise? The thrill ain't worth the kill. For real. Bars. Yo, y'all gotta save this part of the video so I can put this in my next song. Fire. I don't even know what I said. When I say the thrill, hey, that was freestyle too. The thrill ain't worth the kill. For real.
Nah, chill.
Not chill. Right? You know what's good and acceptable in the Most High. So if you do otherwise, you're sending yourself to an early grave. You're ignoring the light. The light is supposed to be righteousness. He said he bring forth your righteousness as he brought forth the light. He saves the children of light. He do away with the children of darkness. Mashiach even met you where he at. He said, I came to be a light in a dark place. Some of y'all understand that you was in a dark place in your life before you knew this word.
Hallelujah.
Some of you understand that you put yourself in a dark place after you knew it. But you still here.
Hallelujah.
You still here. Read on, huh?
Verse 11. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness.
There you go. That's the hardest thing to do. That's the hardest thing to do, right? Read that part again. Because this only talking about Halloween. That's the only thing that people go to here for.
Right. And have no fellowship.
He said have no what?
Fellowship.
Some fellowship.
No fellowship.
A little bit of fellowship.
No fellowship.
With what?
With the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them.
You know why you can't reprove? You know why we around darkness and can't reprove?
We in darkness.
Because we darkness too. You can't reprove what you are? That don't make sense.
I'm calling you out. Get the credit.
Hey brother, can I be dark?
That's my boy though. We grew up together, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You still a nigga now. And to him, that's what you are. All this changing you said you did in your life. But when you go around your boy, guess what? Man, you ain't changed a bit, boy. That's why I love you, man. Everybody all religious. You ain't religious.
Approach.
Right? That's my dog right there. He said he came to cause division. Division. Not provision. Division. Divide. Separate. Leviticus 11:3.
Quick.
Not that one. 20. No. Leviticus 20. Leviticus 20 and 25. Leviticus 20 and 25.
Leviticus chapter 20.
26.
Leviticus.
Leviticus 20 and 26.
Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26. And ye shall be Kodesh unto me, for I Yahuwah am Kodesh, and have severed you from other people.
He said, I've done what?
Severed you from other people.
I joined you together.
Severed you from other people.
He said, I want you to be Kodesh like I'm Kodesh, and I have severed you from other people. What that mean?
Cut you off.
Cut them off.
He used the word severed. Cut.
Sharp.
What is the root word to severed? Severe. I have severed you from what?
From other people.
From other people. I cut the tie.
Completely.
But you trying to be a worm, you trying to grow that piece back. My Dragon Ball Z kids, and Piccolo out here, right? You trying to grow it back. You can't grow this back. And if you decide to grow it back, that means you put some effort into it. That means you put some time into it. So now instead of severing you from other people, he'll sever you from him.
Yeah.
Isaiah 59:1.
Help us, Father. Help us, Father. Help us.
Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 1. Behold, Yahuwah's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy, that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated between you and your Elohim.
Your iniquities did exactly what he was trying to get you to do with them other people. Your iniquities separated you from him, as opposed to you separating from other people. That's not a good feeling. That's a very, very empty feeling. To know that you're doing something that's wrong and to have a longing to get back to what's right, but you just can't do it. You just can't get yourself to do it. So you make excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse until lights go out, until there's nothing left. Them same excuses that you were saying while you were alive, you don't even get to utter in judgment. Read.
But your iniquities have separated between you and your Elohim, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear.
And he will not what?
That he will not hear. For your hands are defiled with blood.
Your hands are what?
Defiled with blood.
Your hands are defiled with blood. All of those prayers and all of that stuff is defiled with blood. Why? Because if you was here at this point in time, you would be taking animals to the Most High. Right? Your hands is so, you can't even have a regular looking hand. Your hand is stained with red. Because there's so much blood that be on them from the stuff that you do. Right? Read.
For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity.
Your fingers with what?
With iniquity.
Read.
Your lips have spoken lies. Your tongue hath muttered perverseness. None calleth for justice, nor any pleader for truth. They trust in vanity.
Trust in what?
In vanity.
In nothingness.
And speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity.
Conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. Your mind ain't even right. All of this because you have decided to tell the seers not to see. Because you decided that you want to stay blind. Luke chapter 11, verse 33. Couple more and we're about here.
Luke chapter 11 and verse 33. No man, when he have lighted a candle, putteth it in a secret place, neither under a bush, but on a candlestick, that they which come in may see the light.
That they may do what?
Come in and see the light.
Anybody who come around you is supposed to see the light. They're supposed to see it. But if you groping, you staggering like a drunkard at noonday, they not looking at the light, they looking at you. When people see the light, they don't see you, they see him. See the difference? Read.
The light of the body is the eye. Therefore, when thine eye is single, thy whole body also is full of light. But when thine eye is evil,
When that eye is what?
when thy eye is evil, the body also is full of darkness.
So if you're constantly putting yourself in front of evil, you constantly putting yourself around wrongdoing, you're constantly involving yourself in something that will go against the Most High, your body is going to follow. What they say, that your eyes are the what to your soul? The windows to your soul. What you looking at? What you got your mind on? If what you looking at all the time is evil, your soul is probably evil. Even if you think otherwise. You keep getting yourself in a situation after situation after situation because you won't choose to see. You're deciding to be blind. Oh no, I'm gonna be straight. The Most High this, the Most High got me, the Most High. You're deceiving yourself. Because remember when we went over in Bible study, y'all, in order for the Most High to fight your battles for you, what has to happen?
I believe you can win it.
Not just that. You gotta have a what? A clean heart. Let's visit that real quick and we'll close out. Deuteronomy chapter 23. Can't give out too much of this because we still gotta dive into it for Bible study next week. When we are going through something and we at war with the powers and the principalities of this world, we expect for the Most High to go before us and fight for us, right? This is what we long for because we know if the Most High go to battle for us, can we lose? No. And He know that too. He know that as well. I gave the example of if you're in school and you're doing it wrong in school, right? Or before you even get to the wrong part, you tell your mama, Mama, my teacher don't like me. My teacher be hating on me. My teacher always trying to fail me. My teacher always sending me the timeout. My teacher. Guess what mama gonna do?
What about you?
Mama gonna get fired up. Your teacher be doing what? That's how my mama was. She wasn't. But right when we got to that door, before she went in and laid a smack down, she looked at me. Boy, you better be right. You better not have nothing that you did wrong for her to be doing this to you. She checked me at the door. Because when mama go in there, I'm about to sit back and smile. Because mama about to take care of it. My grades ain't gonna be what my grades is. They're gonna have to change it. They're gonna have to give me some more work. They're gonna have to do something to compensate me for how I felt. Because mama wasn't playing that. But if I was wrong and mama went in there and embarrassed herself, and wait, he spoke in tongues right? So check this out. Look how the Most High spent this in Deuteronomy 23. We had to tell that joke off camera. Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 9.
Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 9. When the host goeth forth against thine enemies, then keep thee from every wicked thing.
He said, if you go forth against your enemies, if you go to fight a war, to fight a battle, the first thing he said is what?
Keep thee from every wicked thing.
Keep you away from every wicked thing. First thing he wants you to know. If I'm going to fight with you, get away from everything wicked. Read.
If there be among you any man that is not clean by reason of uncleanness, that chanceth him by night, then shall he go abroad out of the camp, and he shall not come within the camp. But it shall be, when evening cometh, he shall wash himself with water, and when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp again. Thou shalt have a place also without the camp, whether thou shalt go forth abroad, and thou shalt have a paddle upon the weapon. And it shall be, when thou wilt ease thyself abroad, thou shalt dig therewith, and shalt turn back and cover that which cometh from thee.
All right, stop. So what happened here, he says, if you're going out to war, right, keep every wicked thing from you. That's first and foremost. And 2, if it be among you any man that's not clean by reason of something that happened to him by chance at night, right? Go out from the camp where you at. Do what you gotta do. Dig a hole, do what you gotta do, and cover it up. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say? Brother had to do the number 2, and the Most High said, you gotta get up, you gotta leave from here, go far off, dig a hole, drop your load, cover it up. Right? But you can't come back tonight. Right? Why do you think they couldn't come back that night? Because they were unclean. Right? But why would it be wrong for them to be amongst the camp unclean if they just did the number 2, if they go into war? Read the next verse.
For Yahuwah thy Elohim walketh in the midst of the camp to deliver you and to give up thine enemies before thee. Therefore shall thy camp be Kodesh, that he see no unclean thing in you.
Did he see no unclean? Where?
In you.
In you. So if you're going out to war, he's walking amongst you. He with you. He ready to fight for you. But if there's any evil thing that you got going on, or any uncleanliness in you, when he going to fight for you, because can't nobody beat you if he fight. Right? Who can, man, come on. It's like we did in the 1st grade, and my big brother is in the 9th grade. And I tell my big brother, you need to put the pause on one of these 1st graders. Even if my brother is a lame in 9th grade, he about to come throw them hands and beat up whatever 1st grader is in there.
Hope so.
Right? Unless it's Nate. Nate like, you ain't about to be nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the Most High don't lose. So if I'm walking amongst you, if I'm going to fight for you, you better make sure you're right. You better make sure ain't no unclean thing in you. You better make sure ain't no wicked thing around you, because this was going to happen. Go ahead and read.
To give up thine enemies before thee. Therefore shall thy camp be Kodesh, that he see no unclean thing in you, and turn away from you.
And do what?
Turn away from you.
Because if you go out to war and it's an evil thing around you, or if it's an unclean thing in you that he see in you, he turning away from you. I'll let you lie in wait and get slaughtered right here. So before you call out to the Most High and you get to asking him to do this and do that and do this and do that, you better make sure you're right.
Wow.
Even if he have mercy enough on you to get you up out of your situation, you better make sure you're right. Because you're not going to embarrass him. In Hebrews the 6th chapter and the 4th verse, he started telling us about getting away from that which is holy. Right? And then he talked about the blood of Mashiach. Right? Let's go there real quick. Real quick. Y'all can take a little bit more word? Yeah. They like, man, I'm ready to eat, dog.
Bring it out.
I'm ready to eat, man. Got people butts in seats for 5 hours. Hebrews chapter 6, verse 1.
Hebrews chapter 6 and verse 1. Therefore, leaving the principles of the doctrine of Mashiach, let us go on unto perfection.
We're gonna lay the foundation of the principles of the doctrine of Mashiach, and we're gonna go on to perfection. We're gonna go on to perfection. Go ahead.
Not laying again the foundation of repentance from dead works.
We know what that is, right? The foundation of repentance is what? Sin, right? Because in order for you to have to repent, you had to do what? Sin, right? Read.
And of faith towards Elohim, of the doctrine of baptism, and laying on of hands, and of resurrection of the dead, and eternal judgment. And this will do it. And this will we do if Elohim permits. For it is impossible for those who were once enlightened and have tasted of the Kodesh gift and were made partakers of the Ruach HaKodesh and have tasted the good word of Elohim and the powers of the world to come.
If they do what?
If they shall fall away, to renew them again unto repentance.
It's impossible to renew you again unto repentance after you did what you did. I gave you the world, and then you turned on me, and now you want me to forgive you again. That's how we look at it. But guess what? He said he only died once, right? He gave you a clean garment, right? You stained up your garment after you took your leap. It's up to you to get it together. He not dying again for that. It's up to you to get it together. He did what he was supposed to do. He held up his end. But let's look what it says. Because we talk about if your mama go in there and embarrass herself, guess what she doing to you? She's going to embarrass you. In the worst way. A couple times. In front of the teachers, in front of your classmates, when you get in the car, when you get home, after she go to sleep, when she wake up again.
You ain't gonna tell your daddy.
Huh? When you go to school the next morning, ain't no Vaseline. I ain't putting it on your wounds. Right? Don't play games like that. Don't embarrass me. That's how he feel. Read.
Seeing they crucified to themselves the Son of Elohim afresh, and put him to an open shame.
And do what?
And put him to an open shame.
You're going to put him to an open shame? That means that you're responsible for his blood. You're responsible for his blood. How dare you? Read.
For the earth which drinketh in the rain that cometh off upon it, and bringeth forth herbs, meat for them, by whom it is dressed, receiveth blessings from Elohim. But that which beareth thorns and briars is rejected.
If you bear thorns and briars, you will be rejected. Read.
And is nigh unto cursing, whose end is to be burned.
Whose end is to be what?
Burned.
Whose end is to be burned. You put him to an open shame, it's going down. You put him to an open shame, it's going down. Right? Let's go back to Isaiah chapter 42, and we'll end it off on that. Now check this out. Check this out. Now those who are deciding to take off the blinders, those who are deciding to stop doing evil, wickedness, to stop putting yourself in compromising positions, right? To stop selling yourself short when you have a whole mansion that could be waiting for you. This is for you. Isaiah chapter 42. Pick it up at verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 1. Behold my servant, whom I uphold, mine elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my ruach upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. He shall not cry, nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the streets. A bruised reed shall he not break, and a smoking flax shall he not quench.
So we understand that this is dealing with Mashiach, right? Verse 5.
Thus saith El Yahuwah, he have created the Shamaim, and stretched them out. He have spread forth the earth, that which cometh out of it. He that giveth breath unto the people upon it, and the ruach to them that walk therein. I, Yahuwah, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light to the Gentiles, to open the blind eyes.
To do what?
To open the blind eyes, and to bring out the prisoners from the prison,
and what?
And them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. I am Yahuwah, that is my name, and my esteem will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Sing unto Yahuwah a new song, and his praise from the end of the earth.
An old song.
A new song.
A new song. Sing unto him a new song. Be renewed. Read.
And his praise from the end of the earth. Ye that go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the isles and the inhabitants thereof.
Verse 14. Verse 13, I'm sorry.
Yahuwah shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies.
So if he on your side, if he go to war for you, it's a dub, right? Automatic win, right? Read.
I have long time holding my peace.
I have what?
Long time holding my peace.
I done held my peace for a long time now. I done sat back now. Read.
I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once.
I'm going to destroy and devour when?
At once.
Read.
I will make waste mountains and hills and dry up all their herbs. And I will make the rivers and islands, and I will dry up the pools. And I will bring the blind by way.
I will do what?
I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not.
I'm going to bring the blind by the way that they knew not. Read.
I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them.
And what else?
And the crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them and not forsake them.
He said he not going to forsake them. Right? So if you want to be a part of that number of the people that's not forsaken, you have to give all of that mess up that you got going on. You have to take away the distraction and focus. Focus. The vision is clear. He laid it out for you. Don't allow what's going on in the world to continue to keep you blind. Choose life. Choose light. That I say shalom. All right. Questions, comments. You like it, you hate it, you love it. Stop talking to me, Trav. What's up? Who we got? All praises. All praises. Any questions in here? Nope. We good?
Actually, yeah.
What's up?
That one scripture where it say, if something happened to them by chance, we know that there's no chance. So what exactly is he talking about right here?
He's saying if you got a dump at night, like you sleep,
You can't control it.
yeah, you wake up like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like it's like you planned it, like, yo, at 9 o'clock I'm gonna go. You know what I'm saying? You like, look, make sure y'all got y'all a place afar off. Make sure that with this place that's afar off, it's protected. He told them on their weapons, keep a shovel. Put a shovel on your weapons so when you go out there, you can dig because you still got to be safe. If something happened while you're digging, you want to be able to protect yourself. Let that thing go from among you and cover it up. You know what I'm saying? So the by chance ain't like, you know how we look at stuff like, oh man, that's by coincidence. No. It's like, you get up in the middle of the night, you gotta use the bathroom.
If it happens, I only saw one of them.
I was just thinking about how they had the Ark of the Covenant, and they were supposed to put.
I was just thinking about how that scripture in Deuteronomy that was saying to rehearse the righteous acts. I was thinking about how they had the Ark of the Covenant that held the testimony of what the Most High had done for Israel throughout the years, and they were supposed to use those things in the Ark to teach their children, so that their children could see what the Most High had done and choose to follow Him based off of what they knew Him to be. You know what I'm saying? that just came back to my mind, to my remembrance, and this is why they were supposed to teach their kids going out and teach them coming in. You know what I'm saying? So that's all.
That's an important part. That's an important part of our livelihood. Like, parents are the first line of defense. You're the first line of defense. Everything that they do, everything that they know is going to come from you. Their defense against the world is going to come from you. So if you don't properly guard them for what's to come, they're going to be left out here. Alright? You got to show them in your actions, in your words, in your deeds, how to operate. Alright? Any other questions, comments, concerns? Going once. Going twice. So
just real quick, I was just thinking that's why it's even important for us, you know, as individuals, to remind ourselves of where we came from, of what the Most High brought us out of. You know what I'm saying? And the things that He's done, the miracles, the thing, you know, the ways that He's made. It's so important for us to remember, because just like you said in the beginning, like, we must have forgot, you know, because when you remember, it realigns your priorities. You know what I'm saying? Realign your priorities to serve Him and to walk in His way so that you're pleasing to Him. Because, you know, you remember who He is, you remember His power, His authority, His leadership, and then it puts you back in the position to who you're supposed to be serving rather than pleasing yourself. Man.
Got to.
that's the whole, I mean, honestly, man, this is the whole thing about this walk, is to be able to look at yourself and see a person. To look at yourself and actually see a follower of the Most High. Not to look at yourself and deceive yourself as if you're following the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we look in the mirror and be like, being honest, you look at yourself and like, man, what have I become? What am I doing? But you get to that point where you in so deep, you know, it is hard to kind of pull yourself out. But if you don't pull yourself out, you're going to be stuck. If you don't get out of the pit, you're going to be buried. You know what I'm saying? You got it. This is the whole thing. You got to be able to look at yourself. This is what I'm doing wrong. This is how I corrected it. Not, oh, I gotta. You'll be saying I gotta forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta do right. I gotta get myself together. Man, come on. How many times we done said that before? I gotta get myself together. Well, dang, bro. If you was going out of town and you was flying and that plane left at 5 o'clock, you at the airport at 3. You ain't getting yourself together because you think you gonna miss that what? But you don't think you'll miss salvation. Like you don't think that it'll just come by you. You think that you're gonna be able to catch it along the way. You think that you just so happen to come to the train while it's going by and you can grab that arm and take the ride. You don't have it like that. That would be by chance. Oh man, look, there goes salvation. No. You're building or destroying your house of salvation. You're doing it. The only reason you'll get a mansion is because you did well with what He gave you here. Right? Like, I'm not going to give you a mansion if you turn my 4-bedroom house into a hut. Don't make sense.
What's that scripture that says, because He not swift to judgment, He will take it out?
Ecclesiastes 8:5.
What he said. Let's go there. Ecclesiastes 8:5.
Ecclesiastes 8:5. Whoso keepeth the commandments shall feel no evil thing.
It's 11. It's 11. We're on 11.
Ecclesiastes 8 and verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear Elohim, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are a shadow, because he feareth not before Elohim.
Let me see. What is your understanding on once saved, always saved theology?
Christianness.
Not never.
Possible.
Ain't nobody saved yet. So I'm saved. You can't be saved to the end.
I mean, honestly, when you look at once saved, always saved, you got to look at the dynamic of what those words are, right? So once saved, right? Like if we talking about eternal salvation, right? Ain't nobody been once saved yet. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't even got the first part yet.
That's right.
Now, if it's once saved, always saved, and we talk about the end, wholeheartedly, because there ain't nothing after that.
Is this something?
Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 2.
I'll read it. 2.
We're picking up at verse 1.
Revelation 2 and 1. To the angel of the church of Ephesus write, these things said he that hold the 7 stars in his right hand, who walk in the midst of the 7 golden candlesticks. I know your works, and your labor, and your patience, and how you cannot bear them which are evil.
So these people can't bear somebody that's evil. Read.
And you have tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and have found them liars, and have borne and have patience, and for my name's sake have labored.
Now did what?
Have labored.
He said, and for my name's sake have labored, meaning these people were doing the work. They are quote unquote, as the church will say, at this point they would be saved. Read.
Nevertheless, I have somewhat against you.
I have what?
I have somewhat against
He
you.
said, nevertheless, I got something against you. Read.
Because you have left your first love.
You did what?
You left your first
So
love.
once saved, always saved, don't fly. Read.
Remember, therefore, from whence you are fallen, and repent.
Do what?
Repent.
And repent. So if you're saved always, it's no need to repent. Read.
And do the first works.
Do what?
Do the first works.
Do the first works. Read.
Or else.
Or
Or
read.
I will come unto you quickly,
And do what?
and will remove your candlestick.
Once your candlestick is out, the saved part is out of there. Read.
I will remove your candlestick out of his place, except you repent.
Except you do what?
Except you repent.
Except you repent. So no, we do not rock with the once saved, always saved doctrine.
All right. Let's see. We got any other one? I think that's it. That's it for the questions in here? All right, y'all. We gon' pray. We gon' pray. We gon' pray. We gon' pray. Pray out. Pray out. Pray out. Pray out. We gon' pray. 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 Pray out. Pray out. Pray out. We gon' pray. We gon' pray. We gon' pray. We gon' pray. Pray out. Pray out. Pray out. We gon' pray. We gon' pray. We gon' pray. We gon' pray. Pray out. Pray out. All minds clear. Abba Yahuwah, allowing your word to go forth, Father. We thank you for your word to be there for correction, reproof. We thank you for your word to be there, Father, to give us a brush for reality, Father. We thank you for your word that you sent down here to die for the sins of this your people and those of the world, Father.
Hallelujah.
We thank you for allowing your word, your son, to come and show us the way of righteousness, Father. To show us that we can walk in that straight and narrow path, Father. We ask that you allow us the opportunity to remove the blinders off of our eyes, Father, that we may be able to see your salvation perfectly and clearly. That we be not snared with the wiles of the devil. That we be transformed, Father, from darkness into light. That we become children of Elohim and not children of the wicked one. That our love abound with each other and with you. That your word is always at the forefront of our mind and not an afterthought. That your peace be upon us, Father. Father, we ask you to look upon those who have lost somebody near and dear to them, Father. We ask you to ease their souls, Father. Ease their pain. Ease their minds, Father. We ask you that your peace that surpasses all understanding, Father, is what they get in these troubling times, Father. Father, we ask that you wrap your arms around us, Father. That we feel safe inside of you, Father. That this world come not near unto us, Father. And if it does, that we hold on to our wisdom, which you said is our defense. That you give us the tools and armor to fight against any enemy that will come our way. That we put every evil thing from away from us, Father. That we have no uncleanliness found in us, Father. That we be whole, and that we can come boldly unto your throne, professing your name in righteousness. All these things we pray and we give thanks. Bashem, Yahuwah, Wabenka, Yahushua HaMashiach, Ruach HaKodesh, so be it. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. What do y'all got to? Oh, come on.
Avinu Shabbat Shemayim.
Avinu Shabbat Shemayim.
Ikadosh.
Ikadosh.
Shemka. Tavo.
Malkuta. Yaseh. Rasonka. Baaretz. Kasher. Nasha. Bashamayim. Teilanu. Hayom. Likim. Tikanu. Usla. Anu. Eg. Ashmatenu. Kasher. Suki. Lasher. Ashku. Nanu. Wa'ar. Tamidu. Yedeh. Ki. Hasalanu. Mi. Parah. Ki. Maka. Mamlaka. Bahagi Bora. Bati Paret. Lome. Golami. So be it. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. All right, so shalom, shalom, and agape. Donations, y'all. We need donations. If you on the stream, or even if you here in person, we need donations. I know we still got bills. In order to keep Quad coming back and teaching these bomb lessons, y'all, we have to have your donations. If we don't pay his salary, he won't. Nah, man, bro. Yo, seriously, give what's in your heart. And we'll see y'all on the next time. Shalom.